Powered by the Zapata Bread Studio. This is Straight Outta JerZey with JerZey.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Joe Zapata with another week of Peptide Talk here with Cockamania running wild. The man, Garrett Pope. What's up, Garrett?
What's up, man?
What's going on, man? But before we get started, like I said, like always, please, guys, go to equipfoods.com. Use promo code JerZey and get 15% off all your protein needs. It's great protein. Equip Foods is one of the best around. So, again, go to equipfoods.com, promo code JerZey, and get 15% off your order. All right, Garrett, we're going to talk about the growth hormone releasing peptides, and we're going to talk about CJC-1295 to start. So please break it down. Tell us what that is and what it does.
All right. So you have many different growth hormone releasing peptides. And
Okay.
the key behind it is, before we get into all the different types, the key behind it is it's growth hormone releasing, meaning it stimulates your pituitary gland to naturally release more growth hormone. But see, there's the key word, naturally. So what I try to explain to everybody is you're not putting artificial growth hormone in your body when you're using growth hormone releasing peptides. Okay. There's a major difference between using growth hormone and growth hormone releasing peptides. So what this does is this basically, as people age, like everything else, like we've spoken about, testosterone and NAD and everything, you decrease your natural output of things, unfortunately. And one of those things that you decrease as you age is growth hormone output.
Mm-hmm.
By increasing the natural growth hormone output, that's going to make a big difference in anti-aging. Now, you have a lot of different products out there that can do that. Samorelin does that. Tesamorelin does that. Ipamorelin does that. There's a lot of different products. CJC-1295 with DAC, with no DAC. I tell people, here's the difference. A lot of people don't understand the difference. There's with DAC, DAC, without DAC, DAC. Here's the difference.
What is DAC? I don't know what DAC is. What does that mean? DAC.
Again, it's one of those things that I have trouble pronouncing. So let me.
I know it's drug affinity complex, but I don't know what's DAC actually mean, with DAC or without DAC.
Right now, I'll tell you. Here you go. Here we go. DAC is
drug. I think it's drug affinity complex, but I don't know exactly what it is. I know this.
I'll explain the difference. Okay. What basically it does. Without DAC, okay, is the closest thing to natural growth hormone release. And what I mean by that is you naturally release growth hormone at night. Okay, when you're sleeping, that's when you release the most growth hormone. And I try to explain that to everybody. That's why sleep's so important. Okay, one of the reasons why you release growth hormone at rest. Okay, the most. Without DAC is a daily injection. Okay, but it mimics natural growth hormone release the best. With DAC, you only need to inject that once a week. But that's not optimal for your body. If you can compare it to something best, it's like what we first discussed week 1 with testosterone injections. Could you inject testosterone once a week? Well, that was the way doctors have told you to do it for years upon years. Is that optimal though? Well, as you and I have talked, it's not. It's really not. You see, after I told you, and then you feel much better.
Feel much better, yes.
You feel better. The side effects, here's the thing too that I try to explain to people. When you do the daily microdosing of the testosterone, you also control your estrogen much better. I always hear guys all the time, oh, my estrogen is too high. Oh, my estrogen crashed. Oh, their estrogen's all over the place. That's going to happen with weekly injections, okay? But if you microdose it that controls it. You're never going to have any estrogen issues again. Granted, if you microdose a gram a week of it, of course you're going to have problems. But if you do a smart dosage, okay, smart dosage of it, you're never going to have worries. And that's the same thing. Now you can take this from testosterone and go right over to the growth hormone releasing peptides. And when I explain to people that CJC with DAC, without DAC, that's basically a daily dosage of it. You're releasing your natural growth hormone each night. A weekly dose, okay, you take it once a week, that's not optimum to best fit naturally your body. So again, I tell everybody, if you're going to use that stuff, you use it with the no DAC. You want to do it. You want daily injections of it. And I will hear people say, "Oh man, I'd rather do once a week injection. It's a lot easier." Well, yeah, it's a lot easier, but we're not talking about what's easier. We're talking about, I assume we're talking about what you're going to get better results off of. And I'm not talking about just physical results. I'm saying what you're going to feel better off of, what you're going to see better results off of, what is going to be the best for your health. So that's why that's the main difference right there. So
yeah, I was going to ask you now, when you take like testosterone and you're taking, let's say Cypionate or whatever, it does shut down your natural testosterone. Absolutely. However, if you do this, will it shut down your natural growth release? No,
it won't. This increases it. And see, here's where the main difference between this and artificial growth hormone is. And I'm going to get into that into a minute. I don't want to jump the gun because I am going to totally get into that. So I'll save this little bit for for a minute. So that's the difference between DAC and no DAC. So you want no DAC. You want to do the daily injections of it to best mimic your natural release. Okay, that's the first thing. Now, the second thing is a lot of people like ipamorelin, okay? And in my opinion, you had the old, like you go back 12, 13 years ago when I had Lake Ranch Rejuvenation, and we used to sell the shit out of Samorelin, okay? And some people pronounce it Samorelin, some people pronounce it Semerelin. It's the same thing, okay? It just depends on how you pronounce it, okay? Some people say tomato, some say tomato. Yeah, it's the same thing. And we used to sell a ton of that. Well, that was before a lot of these other growth hormone releasing peptides were out. Ipamorelin is far in advance over Samorelin, okay, far in advance. But ipamorelin pales in comparison to using ipamorelin with CJC-1295. And here's why, and when I try to explain to people, and anybody out there, I'm going to do a real quick understanding of it. With ipamorelin, you're stimulating your pituitary gland to release more growth hormone. It ends there. Now you add the CJC in, and you have CJC-1295 with ipamorelin. And now you're stimulating your pituitary gland to release more growth hormone, but you also are stimulating your liver to produce more IGF-1, which is, for those that don't know, insulin growth factor. So there is a monster difference, okay? And what I tell everybody, from regular ipamorelin to the CJC-1295, because if anybody knows, if they're on any type of growth hormone product, whether it's growth hormone, whether it's a growth hormone releaser, whatever it is, how do they measure that? How do you go to the doctor and get that blood work done to know, well, am I seeing a difference? You have your IGF tested.
Oh, okay.
And that is what shows it. Your IGF number is what shows your growth hormone. Well, if you want to increase your IGF, you'd want to use the CJC and the ipamorelin, because now you're stimulating both the pituitary gland and you're stimulating the liver to produce that IGF-1. The IGF-1 and the growth hormone work together. They bind together, and there you go. And that's your maximum benefit.
Gotcha.
That's the real quick, easy, condensed version. Rather than I don't like getting in over people's heads where they get too confused on it. It's real simple. And a lot of people ask me a lot. I get, what's the difference between ipamorelin? What's the difference between the CJC, no DAC, blah 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 blah. That's it. That's
and the best way is to take them together, the CJC and the ipamorelin.
And they come together already. There's peptides that are just ipamorelin, and then there's peptides that are CJC-1295 no DAC with ipamorelin. That's the one that I tell people, if you're going to do anything, that's what you want. There's also GHR H2, GHR H6. Those are growth hormone releasing peptides You can also get CJC-1295 with those, but
Okay.
those are just the keys on there. Those are numbers 2, 6. They pale in comparison to ipamorelin. They're factors of the growth hormone releasing peptide. And I tell everybody, if you're going to use a growth hormone releasing peptide, you want the ipamorelin and you want the CJC with the ipamorelin.
Okay.
And hands down, that's a nightly injection, because again, you want it. People take this stuff all over the place, and that's another thing too. Whether it's regular growth hormone, whether it's growth hormone releasing peptide, a lot of people don't know how to take it. A lot of people, I'll take it in the mornings. Oh, I'll take it after I work out. Oh, I'll take it in the evenings. I'll take it in the morning and the evening. It's simple. If you release the most amount of growth hormone in the evenings when you're sleeping, you take it right before you go to bed. But the key on it is you take it on an empty stomach. You don't want to have a meal with a whole bunch of carbohydrates in it and then you take it. Okay?
Oh, gotcha.
Empty stomach. So let's say, I'm just going to throw a number out there. Let's say you go to bed at 11 p.m. You shouldn't have anything to eat from 8 o'clock on.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Have that empty stomach. Try to leave 2 to 3 hours of empty stomach. Okay? And then you take it and you go to sleep. Because that's the best way to release it. Then you wake up in the morning, boom, you have your food in you. Now, there's a lot of thought process out there, people taking things in the morning, post-workout, before evening. Listen, I'm going to tell everybody, I've tried every single way, okay? I've experimented with every single way. Hands down, nighttime before bed is the best results, hands down. Okay.
Gotcha. I got a couple questions too here. And I want you to see if you can answer this one. Frankie V from New Jersey says, could stimulating GH over time increase risks like cancer or organ growth?
Stimulating, no. And I'll explain why. Artificial, well, the jury's still out on that. There is a lot of rumors. I mean, hey, look, if you go overboard with artificial HGH, of course, we'll say organ growth, for example. How do you think Barry Bonds' head grew? Okay, yeah. I mean, let's be serious. Look at his head from when he retired to his rookie year. Your head doesn't grow as an adult. It just doesn't, okay? Yep. Your head doesn't get bigger as you get older. If you use a ton of GH, I mean a high amount of GH, it does. So, could stimulating GH over time, that's the key word right there by Frank, stimulating, no, okay? If you go overboard, absolutely. But again, it's like with anything. If you abuse anything, there's going to be bad side effects, okay? Stimulating, no.
Okay. Greg W. here said, hi, Garrett. Great knowledge on the subject. I don't know if you heard, but one of my friends complained of numbness and tingling in his hands after taking the CJC. Is this common?
After taking the CJC? Yes, it's possible. Not common. That's more common with real growth hormone.
Okay, real growth hormone.
Synthetic, growth hormone. It's not that common with CJC, but is it possible? 100%. Yes, because again, anytime you stimulate, anytime you release, anytime you increase your growth hormone release, absolutely. And all that is the nerves. So what I try to tell people is when they feel that numbness and tingling, they'll feel it in their fingers, in their hands, in their toes. That is from the growth hormone release. It's pressing on the nerves. So yes, is it possible? Yes. Is it common with CJC? No. Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I've gotten it before from real growth hormone and, synthetic growth hormone. And it's just one of those things that you go, you live with it. It's not the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? It's not something where you go, my God, I can't pick up my phone because I can't feel my hand. It's nothing world ending. You know what I mean?
Yep. Billy Y from Fairlawn, New Jersey said, is CJC-1295 closer to natural hormone optimization, or is it basically a workaround for HGH?
It is it's the closest thing. Well, I should change it. It is natural hormone optimization. It's having your body, it's stimulating your pituitary gland to release more growth hormone. So it is natural. It is not a workaround for HGH at all. And I was going to explain it later, but that's great. I'm going to pick it up right off of this question.
Okay.
I want to explain So you take the growth hormone releasing products, any of the things that I just listed, it will release growth hormone equal to up to 1 IU daily of synthetic growth hormone. Now, that's great for anti-aging. That's great for maybe body recomposition to an extent.
Okay.
But if you're looking to build muscle, if you're looking to get shredded, if you're looking for real, what I call real results, major results, no, then you want to go with the real synthetic growth hormone, because you got to think about something. What I tell most people is that sweet spot for most people, men, let me change it. I don't want women out there going and doing this. Men, that sweet spot is about 4 IUs nightly. Now listen, I know people that do a lot more than that. Hey, more power to you. I feel you're taking a risk there. You don't know what the side effects are. There's a reason why Barry Bonds' head got so big. There's a reason why other people's things grew on them, their fingers. Listen, you can use too much of it. Okay, you absolutely can. And if you overdose your dosage, if I say to somebody, and this has happened before, hey, listen, let's try between 2 and 4 IUs nightly. I'm talking about synthetic growth hormone. Try between 2 and 4 IUs nightly. And they turn around and they, all of a sudden, before I know it, I see them 5 months later. Oh, I upped it. I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel it until I went to 10 IUs. Why would you do that?
Yep.
Why, I don't understand. Why would you do that? Why? You also know it messes with insulin. Why would you do that? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. Now, if you're going to be a pro body, listen, I know IFBB pro bodybuilders, men, okay? Men who have used or are using between 14 to 20 IUs a night.
Ooh, that's insane.
Yeah. But these same people are using 1,000 to 1,500 milligrams of test a week. They're using 10, 1,000, basically a gram of trenbolone a week. They're using, it's ridiculous what they're using, but using that, is absolutely absurd. There used to be, not used to, there still is, there's a growth hormone, synthetic growth hormone called Serostim. Anybody can look it up. It's made by Merck, okay? And the medical, company. And Serostim's on the market because it's prescribed for AIDS patients, mainly. Anybody with wasting disease, but mainly people with AIDS, okay? And it keeps their weight on them, okay? And the way it works is a box of the Serostim is 126 IUs, okay? That's a box of it, okay? I knew a dude that would go through a box a week.
Wow.
Come on.
That's crazy. Sometimes less is better. Less is more. I know someone, and actually, you know him too. He was taking growth. His shoe size grew from a 9 to a 13.
Yep.
I was like, that's incredible.
Yep.
So you got to be, I think less is the best way to go, like you said.
And see, what you just said right there is perfect. Shoe size. Your shoe size, your foot doesn't grow as an adult. Okay, that happens when you're a kid. Your head doesn't grow as an adult. Your muscles can grow. That's a different story. But your foundation, your hands, your feet, that stuff doesn't grow unless you're using too much growth hormone. And that's a perfect thing that you just you said right there. Yes, that's the side effect of it. I had a guy once who was taking too much growth hormone on purpose, and every time I would talk to him, I go, "What are you doing, bro? Why? What? You're running out of your supply in half the time that you should be. When you should be asking for more, you're way ahead. You're months ahead. I don't understand what's going on." And he goes just like this to me. I don't know about anything else. I don't know about gym wise or anything, but it's made my dick bigger. And I'm just like, bro, so people are doing stupid things. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, people are doing really stupid things. Like, you're going to use all that growth hormone to make your, I mean, come on, bro. You know what I mean? So there's things that I don't understand that people do, and people don't realize the side effects of things down the road, you know? And just think about this off that question that person asked 2 questions back about possible cancer and all this. If you can make your head grow, if you can make your hands grow, if you can make your feet grow, all this stuff grow, well, that's all the stuff you see on the outside, right?
Yeah.
What about on the inside? So do I believe heavy dosage of growth hormone can make cancer cells grow? 100%. That's my belief. Okay. Now, is there scientific data backing that right now? There's rumors, it's innuendos, but it's not anything that's 100% proven. But that is my belief. I've never taken monster amounts of growth hormone personally. And the reason why is I have to be real careful with growth hormone. I love it. But if I even increase my dosages from 4 IUs nightly to even up to 6 or 7, or one time I tried to push to 8 just for more size. This was years ago, for more size and stuff. I literally shot up, okay, from 285 to 317 in about 6 weeks.
Wow.
My body just grows. And the problem is, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be. I'm not competing anymore. I don't want that. You know, different story. If I was competing, I was like, okay, different story.
Yep.
I don't want that.
Yeah, and plus people can't see you. Like you're actually really tall. You're about 6'2", maybe.
6'2",
yeah. Yep, you're about 6'2", 6'3". So I mean, you're a big dude. So like that might increase too, but you don't want that.
Exactly. I don't want to be taller. You know what I'm trying to say to you? I'm good at 6'2". You know what I mean?
Okay.
Listen, 6'2", between 275 and 285, I hold at all times. That's good. You know what I mean? If anything, like I've said in the past, you know, as I get older, I probably want to downsize a little bit, you know, but I don't want to get taller. I don't want to get, you know what I mean? It's you know, I'm not sure. A lot of the bodybuilders are, you know, 5'4", 5'5", you know what I mean? They're very short. And that's, you know, that's great, but I don't want to, you know, I don't want to get there when I would shoot up on this to 317 like that, you know what I mean? I mean, I would shoot up like a weed, you know what I mean? And it would just like before I know it. But the problem is you don't realize it looking in the mirror. You really don't. It was like I said before, nobody sees yourself more than you daily, because you come out of the shower, there's a mirror in front of you. You walk by and there's a mirror in front of you. You're always seeing yourself. Okay. So you don't realize it until maybe you'll see a picture or something like that. And if you know, that's when you go, oh.
That's right. 100%.
Oh, you know what I mean? And you'll see a big difference. You know what I mean?
All right. Roger T from Wayne, New Jersey said, how does it impact IFG1 levels and why does it matter long term?
Okay. Again, some of them do impact IGF-1 levels, some don't, like the CJC does. The hypermelanin all by itself does not. Okay. Growth hormone does. Okay. And the key is you want your IGF levels elevated. That is what is the ultimate. See, here's the thing. IGF levels, that's going to change everything. Your muscle structure, your muscle cells, your muscle intake, your structural, that's going to change everything. I try to explain to everybody, IGF is great. Listen, there's a peptide out there called IGF-1 LR3. Okay, so IGF-1-LR3. You take that in conjunction with HGH, it's the greatest thing in the world. Unbelievable. And I love it. But the thing is this, when you take the IGF-1, I literally stay on that for 6 weeks only and then get off of it. So I'll get on that for 6 weeks. And I'll be honest with you. What I always say to myself is, I'm going to get on 6 weeks. I'll stay off for 3 months, maybe. I'll get on another 6 weeks. I usually do 6 weeks a year, and that's it. Because by the end of the 6 weeks, every single time you combine that and you combine HGH, and after 6 weeks, I blink and I go, oh, I'm up 10, 12 pounds again. And it's not, I'm not talking fat. I'm not talking, it's good weight. You know what I'm saying? It's good weight. Now there is a little water retention, but there's a little water retention with any type of growth. Now I keep my diet super, super strict. My diet as I get older is more strict than it's ever been when I was younger. Okay. So for the most part, I mitigate that. I keep most of the water to, I don't hold much water. Okay. But when you're on this, you will notice a little bit of a difference, that's normal. I'm not talking like, anadrol difference. You know what I mean? I'm not talking where you bloat up 15, 20 pounds of water. That's not what I'm talking about at all,
Now, if you take the CJC and with the IPA, and then you take that with like a test, like a Cypionate, is that a great like mix? You'll grow really well.
Unbelievable. Really? You'll grow well. That's great for anti-aging. So I'm not talking about just, I don't want people to get confused sometimes, but sometimes people think I'm just talking about hardcore gym stuff and bodybuilding. I'm not. I'm talking about anti-aging. I'm talking about just you combine a replacement dosage of testosterone with a replacement dosage of CJC with ipamorelin, and you'll see a monster difference in body recomposition.
Wow.
Weight loss, body fat loss, muscular development. So, and I'm not talking like, and again, I don't want people to get confused here, when I said, oh yeah, listen, because my body responds to something in a certain way, doesn't mean everybody's body is going to respond. That's all I know people think out there go, oh, I don't want to put on 30 pounds or 12 pounds or 15 pounds. It doesn't mean that everybody's body reacts differently to things. Okay. Everybody. My body happens to react. Listen, I take no stimulants in, meaning I take zero caffeine in. You don't
take any caffeine?
No caffeine.
No, because I do remember you taking pre-workout for some reason back in the day. I don't know.
Absolutely. And what I do now is I do non-stimulant pre-workouts.
Oh wow, okay.
So they make the non-stimulant pre-workouts, and that's what I do. I do non-stimulant pre-workouts. I take zero caffeine. Back in the day, I used to always take what did we use back in the day? I can't remember.
We used to drink something really all the time. We used to drink something with me. I forget what it was, but
I can't remember what it was. And I think that had like 250 milligrams of caffeine in it.
Yes.
I'm almost sure. And we used to use those all the time. But I learned over time, I use non-stimulant pre-workouts now. So I take zero caffeine. I don't drink coffee. I never drank coffee. Don't drink tea, nothing like that. So I take zero caffeine in, zero alcohol. The last alcoholic drink, believe it or not, and that was like, one drink of toast, was 2011. And I tell people straight, when I say I don't drink, I don't drink. I don't take any alcohol. And the last time even alcohol touched my lips was 2011. And I was never a drinker.
No, and I knew that about you. We worked together at the bar bouncing, and you never drank.
Never. Remember at the end of the night all the time you would what were those things?
Car bombs.
Yeah, yes.
Car bombs. You would never drink.
I would just stand there and wait for you. I would never do it. You would have at the end of the night. That's what it was. Car bomb. I couldn't remember the name of it. I would just wait for you. I would never have it. So I was never a drinker. That's why I try to tell people. A lot of people sometimes that meet me, they'll go, after I say to them, I don't drink at all. They'll go, oh, well, I think that's great. Good for you. How long have you been in recovery for? And I'll go, no. It's my choice. I never had a problem with it. I've never been a drinker. I just don't drink. It's just drinking alcohol has no place in my life, to be honest. It really does.
It's the worst thing to put in your system, to be honest with you. Probably one of the worst things to put in your system, alcohol.
Yes, it really is. And people don't understand. It's funny you say that, because I hear normal people, everyday people go, I don't know about those peptides. They're unproven. I don't trust them. You don't know what they might do to your body.
Good point.
And I turn around and go, oh, but you trust alcohol. Oh, but you trust the COVID vax. Oh, but you trust. See?
You're right.
Oh, but you hit that vape pen all the time. You trust all those things.
Yep. 100%.
But yes, I agree with you. Alcohol is horrible for you. So I literally take no stimulants in, none whatsoever. Whatever.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'll give you a story, just a condensed version of it. So in 2007, November of 2007, I tore my bicep tendon, distal bicep tendon at the inside of the elbow insert. Okay.
Okay.
So I had to have surgery to reattach it. Okay. And tore it on a Monday. I had surgery the following Monday. So literally 1 week later, which anytime you tear a tendon, the quicker you have the surgery, the better it is. And great. So I had the surgery, but the problem is this: since I have no stimulants, no nothing, I had a very hard time. They had to give me anesthesia, but you know how you count back from 10 to 1? They gave me the regular anesthesia, and apparently I didn't go out from it. And I counted from 10, and normally you're supposed to count from 10, and you're supposed to be out by 5. I counted from 10 to all the way to 1, and I was still just. So they had to give me another hit of another dose of the anesthesia. Now that put me out, but the problem is I was told afterwards in recovery. Now I had a very hard time recovering, coming out of it, and I was told by the nurses, I was told by the doctors. Again, I don't remember any of this, but I was told that my vitals were fluctuating.
Really?
In the surgery, they were getting worried because they said, as the doctor said, I gave you enough anesthesia to knock out an elephant. And he said the problem was then your vitals started fluctuating and you had a hard time coming out of it. Wow. So now that could be also, now I say it's because I don't take any stimulants, any outside. So I think anything like that will have an effect on me greatly, but it could also be hereditary because my mother, when she had a cancer surgery years back, she almost died coming out of anesthesia.
Really? Wow.
So she had it. So that, the jury's out on that. That might be genetic, to be honest. It might be a combination of both, but I do think, part of it plays into the fact that I take no stimulants in it or anything. So I try to, that was the last time I underwent anesthesia. I try to stay away from anesthesia because I don't know what kind of effect it's going to have on me. I also came out of the anesthesia from when I was told, out of my mind. But not out of my mind. Like, how some people are funny. I came out of it basically like psychotic, just really out of control. Like I didn't know what I was saying, what I was doing, it was just, not good. Yeah. So that's why I don't use any.
I had a similar situation too with myself. I mean, they put me out and they took a little bit more extra to knock me out. However, I woke up in the middle of the surgery. I just got up.
Really?
They had to bring me back down and give me more because I just got up out of it. Like, what, are we done? Like, I stood up.
Okay, that's straight up scary.
Yeah. So they had to knock me out again. Yeah, I don't know. They had knocked me out, but whatever they did, I got up in the middle of it.
Oh my God! Let me ask you a question. Because I was, I wonder about. Did you feel it? Like
I didn't feel it at all. I didn't feel nothing.
Oh, okay.
No. I just remember just getting up, saying, "Are we done?" And they were like, "Oh shit!" And they pulled me back down, strapped me in, and gave me another dosage, and I was done.
Wow, yeah, that would freak me out.
I don't remember anything the nurses told me. I don't even remember it. The nurses
that's
told
the
me.
thing, exactly. Like I had to be told all this too. I don't remember any of it. No, I don't remember any of it. I don't remember, that part. I don't remember at all. I was told all this, but yeah, that's scary. Wow, that goes through my head. That's like one of those things. Like, okay, that's a nightmare scenario. You know what I mean? Like, oh boy.
Now, I wanted to ask you with the CJC. I heard it does increase your hunger. Is that true?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Any growth hormone, though, will increase your hunger. Okay. Any type of growth hormone, growth hormone releasers, synthetic growth hormone, it will make you hungry. And the key behind that is that's how you grow.
Yep.
I tell everybody where it's think about this. It's the opposite of a GLP-1. The GLP-1s are designed to make you lose weight. Well, what does it do? It kills your appetite.
Yep.
Growth hormone is designed to make you bigger, put more size on you. So it's going to increase your appetite. So
what
I
about
tell everybody that absolutely. I'm going to send you something right now, by the way.
Okay.
So you can see. And this is on my Instagram also for anybody that wants to see. But I'm going to send you a picture right now. That was when I upped the growth hormone back in 2016 or 17. I'm not 16, 2016. And at that weight right there, I was 315 pounds. And I just sent you a picture.
Yep,
See if
I'm
it came
looking
through
for
to
it
you.
right now. Hold on.
All right.
Give me a
I
second.
just want to show you. You can see my face, and that's why I'm showing that. Look at the difference in the water retention in my face.
And I'll try and pull that up right now, but let me just grab a second. Now, does it also have headaches? I heard headaches also happens with increased growth.
I've never had that. Now,
Really?
here's the thing I tell people, and I'm not saying it's 100%, but usually when you get headaches, that's a sign of high blood pressure.
Really?
Yes. So the first thing I tell anybody, if somebody's on testosterone, if somebody's on growth, if they're on anything, I don't care what you're on. If you're on a medication from a doctor and you start getting headaches, check your blood pressure. See if your blood pressure went up. Because blood pressure, usually that's a sign of headaches. There's a few signs of headaches there's a few signs of blood pressure that I tell people right off the bat. Number one is frequent nosebleeds. Number two is headaches. Number three is, you and I used to know the guy. He used to train at Gold's in Paramus. He used to come down to Rosie's all the time. He used to wear a little fedora. You know who I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Irish guy. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
All the time I used to say to you, holy shit, his face is like a lobster. Remember how deep red he was in the face?
Yes.
It'd be in the middle of winter. And I'm not, that kid didn't tan. You know what I'm saying? It'd be the middle of winter and he would be blood red in the face. Well, he was on, if you remember, low dose for him was 600 milligrams of test a week. He would go up to 1,000. I remember him saying 1,000, 1,200 milligrams test a week. His blood pressure, God knows what his blood pressure was.
Yeah, it must have been through the roof.
Yes, and that's a telltale sign when somebody has that blood red look in their face at all times. It's like, whoa, you're red in the face all the time. You're getting headaches, you're getting nosebleeds. And I'm not saying all those things have to happen. You could have one of those things and have high blood pressure. But headaches are usually a sign of high blood pressure. I have never, now again, I have ridiculously good cholesterol. I have ridiculously good blood pressure. So I've never had any effect from the growth hormone on my blood pressure. I've never gotten headaches from it ever in my life. But can that happen? Yeah, it can. It can. Absolutely.
We got a lot of movement going on with RFK Jr. now. He's talking a lot about peptides. And he was saying there's a lot of things he's doing. You sent me an article. I didn't get through it, but tell me a little bit what's going on now with the peptides with RFK Jr. now. He's got more going on. We talked about it last week, but there's some new stuff happening.
Yeah, I just saw it. So listen, I'm the first to say, yeah, I'm for this administration. I was for this administration from the start. I didn't like the other administration. I'm not calling names out, I'm just leaving it there. I don't like some of the things that are being done now, okay? And I'm not talking about just the peptides. There's some other things that I don't like also. But in this latest interview that RFK Jr. just did was he blamed the peptides being banned previously and the peptide problem on the Biden administration. Now, with all due honesty, Joe Biden didn't know a peptide from a pencil. Okay?
No.
You're going to tell me that dude, listen, that dude wasn't using anti-aging stuff. That you do. Okay, RFK Jr. is a peptide guy.
Yes,
He's a testosterone guy. He knows this. He's a health and fitness guy. I could understand passing the buck on a lot of the other things to the previous administration. Don't try to pass anything to do with peptides on this administration. Excuse me, on the previous administration. It's not going to fly. That previous administration, they cared about boys being girls and girls being boys and this and that. They didn't care about anti-aging. They didn't care about people trying to increase muscle and all that. They did not care about that. So now what RFK Jr. is trying to do is simply, we're going to take this and we're going to take it away. Not only are we going to take it away from the underground companies, but we're going to take it away from the compounding pharmacies. We want to make it that only the government can control it. We want to make it that only doctors can prescribe it. And the podcast person that was interviewing him said, so, for example, you mean something like BPC 157? And he said, exactly. Oh, wait a minute. So you're telling me the government is going to say pretty soon or eventually, well, You can use peptides only if a doctor prescribes it and you pay what we decide you need to pay. Not from a compounding pharmacy, not from a underground, not from anything else. We decide the market. We decide the price. We decide what you can use. That's a problem.
Really, that's a problem. I was just going to say that is a problem.
Yep. That's a problem.
Yeah, I don't know how that was going to handle it. I really don't. Also, someone also mentioned that. Do you have any injection site irritation with CJC-1295? People have asked me that.
Some people say they get little red dots around their stomach. They
Okay.
get little lumps or this and that. I guess it depends on how sensitive your skin is, really. Or
are you using an insulin needle too for that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
It goes
in shoulder or your stomach?
No, right on either side of the belly button. It's a subcutaneous injection.
Okay.
So right into the skin. Okay. I've never had an issue in my life, ever. I've had people say to me, "Oh man, I've got some bruising there. I've got a lump there. I've got redness there." Usually goes away in 24 to 48 hours. I did have one person one time when I told them, you got to get the bacteriostic water. You've got to get the, steroid. There's certain types of things you have to mix this. Okay. And they ran out of that stuff and they decided, I guess I could just mix it with tap water.
Hold on one second. I'm actually going to pull up your image I have here.
Okay.
I got your image actually just came through my here. So we just got it. All right. Give me a second. All right. So this was the image that you sent me just now. I just pulled it in and downloaded. I'm going to pull it up on the screen right now. This was you right there.
2000. That was either 16 or 17. I forget. I think it was 16. I'm almost positive it was 16. 315 pounds there.
Wow.
Now, remember, I tell people I'm 6'2". So, yes, I can hold weight, you know what I mean, differently than others can. I'm 6'2". That was 315 there. Now, you can look at you can see I'm retaining water, but look at my face. My face was so much more puffier. Yeah,
I was going to say, you're very puffy in your face, but you're huge. You're huge.
I couldn't fit in clothes. Everything I wore was always no sleeve and, short because I couldn't fit in anything. You know what I mean? But that was the last time I really went up that high because I was just like, all right, what am I doing this for anymore? You know what I'm saying? If I'm not going to use it to compete, I'm done. That's too much. So that's why I say I hold 275 to 285 now, but you can see the difference in my face compared to that picture there where there was a lot of water retention. It was
was it tough like breathing and moving and tying your shoes and that kind of that big?
Absolutely. It was little things like my workouts I labored through. Okay. It was tough. I love squatting. And it was tough. It was really tough getting through those higher rep workouts and stuff like that. And I'm not a 4 to 6 rep range guy when I train. Okay. I like keeping the reps higher. So when I say higher, 8, 10, 12, 15, I mean, like I said, I go up higher, rear delt movements. I go up to 30, 35, you know what I'm saying? So keeping those high rep workouts like that at that weight was tough. Doing other things at that weight was tough too. Just simple things, taking the dogs out, you know what I mean? Just little things where it would just be like you would fatigue easier, you would get more tired. It wasn't good. And I just realized after a while, well, what's the point? You know what I mean? When I saw that picture and I saw a couple other pictures because they did an article on me in the paper, local paper down here. And they also, they did a promo for a magazine down here, also a local magazine. And they used a lot of these pictures that they took. And that's when I saw, like, I didn't know, I honestly, I didn't see that in the mirror every day. I really didn't. I did not see that in the mirror every single day today. I'm going to be totally honest. I would look in the mirror every day and go, oh man, I got to get bigger. Oh man, I got to get bigger. And when I saw those pictures, I went, wait a minute. Wait a minute. And the first thing that I was drawn to was not the body, my face. That's not my face. That's too bloat. Do you know what I'm saying? That was too much water retention, too much bloat in my face.
So what were you on? You were on growth and obviously steroid, testosterone, whatever.
At that time, I'll tell you exactly what I was using. At that time, I was using HGH. It was 6 to 8 IUs nightly, but I'm going to say a little on the higher end, so probably 8. You know, I would sometimes use 6, but probably about 8 IUs, you know, nightly, which still is, to a lot of people, that's baby dosages. You know what I mean? I hear a lot of people that are 190 pounds going, oh, I use 8 to 10 IUs, you know. Well, is your stuff real? But anyway, so you know, I wonder that sometimes. But that was, you know, I'll say 8 IUs nightly. That was I would up the testosterone a little bit there, so that was probably 400 to 500 mgs of testosterone a week. Where now I never use more than 200 a week. Okay, ever. But that was probably about 400 to 500 mgs of testosterone weekly. And I'm gonna say I think there was some maybe Tren in there, something like that.
Really?
You know, I'm probably, because that's the last time I probably used it. So I probably, because the only reason why I'm going to say is Tren would always blow me up like that and also make me retain water. And I think that might have been a little bit in there, you know. I could be wrong, but I didn't have that roundness to my muscles. So that's why I wasn't on Primobolan then. It was when I get on Primobolan, I literally, my delts, everything looks like complete circles on me. And there was more, you know, so probably, but if I was on 400 to 500 milligrams of test a week, I was probably then on 300 to 400 milligrams of Tren a week, and then I was on the growth. Mainly the growth, because I know guys that tell me they're on 800 milligrams of test a week and 600 milligrams of Tren a week, and they don't. So I equate that honestly to the growth. The growth to me, I respond to it, and that's why I keep my IUs to 4 IUs a night, because that's more than enough for me. And I walk around all year round, like I said, between 275 and 285, and I'm good like that. You know what I mean? But without, I don't want the bloat in the face. I don't want that full, you know, as you saw that picture. I call that picture bloated, honestly. You know, honestly, not truth. I mean, people can say what they want. I call that bloated right there. You know, I couldn't fit in doorways. I couldn't fit in things, but that was bloated, you know, and I didn't realize it until I saw those pictures they did for the magazine, the newspaper and everything. And I went, oh,
Exactly. Well, you know, while we were talking about Tren, I know people have been asking me to talk about some gear and stuff like that. Tren is something that I tell people I think is the worst one you can put in your body. I don't know how you feel towards it. I've had it before, and I went to the ER with it because of my blood pressure was through the roof. And I mean, they didn't know what the hell was going on. I could tell you too that some people say that it gets, you know, people say the roid rage, that drug did, and I have a very calm demeanor. That thing shot I was ready to go with anybody, ready to throw down with anybody. I don't know what it was about that thing, but what do you think about Tren?
I hate it. I tried. There are 3 steroids that if people ask me about that, and listen, any of my clients that are listening to this can attest to this because they've heard me talk them out of it before. There are 3 steroids that I will talk anybody out of. One is Anadrol. The next is Winstrol. And the third is Tren. And let's hit on all 3 right now and why I say it, okay? I'm going to start with Tren first because that's the one that you brought up, okay?
Okay, let's go.
Tren, here's why. Number one, you are 100% right. It is probably the worst thing you could possibly do for your health. And when I mean for your health, your internal health. You had the blood pressure problem. A lot of people have the blood pressure problem. A lot of people have kidney problems with the Tren. Oh, speaking of kidney problems, you saw Lee Haney, right?
Lee Haney.
Sorry.
That's crazy. Wow, that's crazy.
I just went sideways, but yeah, Lee Haney needs a kidney. Now he's saying it's from a family, it's a hereditary thing. Hey, who knows? You know, I mean, if it is, that's a shame, but I just saw that he needs a living donor. But anyway, so Tren is very harsh on the kidneys. Tren is very harsh on all your internal organs. Tren is also hard on testosterone levels. People don't realize something. It can crash testosterone levels. If you don't take a proper testosterone dosage with your Tren dosage, you can crash your testosterone just like that.
Mm-hmm.
So no trend. Now the other side of things, when you said, yeah, it is the most psychedelic steroid
Correct.
there is.
Correct.
And when you just hit on that, it does a couple things. Number one, when I've used Tren, and every single time, how do I put this cleanly? Because I know a lot of people, like my mom watches this show, and no. I'm being serious. Small land animals look good to me at times. That's the best way to put it.
Okay, I got it.
I'm trying to keep it as when I'm
Clean
on
it possible.
Tren, when I've used Tren in the past, I mean, listen, how about this? This is the best way to put it. When I've used Tren, and I haven't used Tren, like I said, now in 10 years, okay?
Mm-hmm.
When I've used Tren, it's ended many of the relationships for me.
Wow.
We'll end it there. Many relationships because, you know, I'm elsewhere or in you know,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll be the first to say that. So psychedelic, yes. Number two, I don't know if you experienced it with Tren, but some crazy, like scary dreams.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did. Very
Not good dreams, like really horrifying dreams, like things in your dreams that you go, whoa, like it was almost too real. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? So that's another, you know, a lot of people complain they can't sleep on Tren. Night sweats. Now, I never had a problem sleeping on Tren, but I would get soaked. I mean, I would have to wake up in the middle of the night and actually change clothes. I'd be so soaked.
Wow.
So that also, and also, yes, temper. It would make you fly off at the drop of a hat. You would get mad over things. I mean, I want to see if it was the same for you. You could be going to brush your teeth and you would drop the cap on the floor, and that would be enough to throw you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Like
100%.
I'm talking, like people don't understand, like, oh, well, you think no. Like you could drop the cap on the floor, and the next thing you know, you're beyond pissed off, and you're pissed off for 3 hours because I had to bend down and pick that cap up.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I couldn't be around my kids sometimes because they did something I would just break. And I told them, I said, this is whatever. And that was really bad. You know, when I had labored workouts, I'd get tired. Really, maybe it's the blood pressure and my breathing, but I would be labored through my workouts.
No. Tren destroys your cardio output.
Destroys
it. Tren, there is nothing else besides Tren. When you're on Tren, you will labor to breathe. You will labor when you train. You will any type of cardio output. You'll labor to take the garbage to the garden. You'll labor to get through anything. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I say that picture there. I'm almost sure I was using Tren also, and that was the last time. That was 10 years ago. Okay. That was 2026. Now that was 2016. I haven't used Tren in 10 years, and I tell everybody, hey, listen, learn from my mistakes. I would never use Tren again. I'm not a fan of it. I think it's in the long run horrible for your system. It's horrible for a lot of other things. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
Now, why Winstrol? Why do you have Winstrol on your list?
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
Don't do that, you idiot. All right, sorry.
Who's that? Your girlfriend?
No, one of my dogs, Vader, as Darth Vader. He just went to lift his leg and pee on something.
Okay.
So I caught him just in time. Okay. Yeah, he just, anybody that knows me knows he's the mad peer. And he loves, and I just looked out of the corner of my eye, and he was just going to go mark something. And, you know, when I did that, he spun around real quick and, okay, I'm not going to do it. But anyway,
why is Winstrol on your list? Winstrol. Why is Winstrol on your list?
Winstrol leads to more muscle tears than anything else.
I did not know that. Wow.
Yes, I would explain something to you why. Muscle tears, muscle pulls, muscle strains, and so on. So, and I'll explain to you why. Winstrol is the cutting drug. Everybody uses it for competitions. Everybody uses it to look sliced and diced on stage. Well, how does it slice and dice you? Is it a GLP-1 where it burns fat and just, you know, decreases your appetite and all this? No. What it does is it dries out your joints. So think about this. What is for years, you go back to Arnold, okay? DECA, people love because it's good for your joints. It puts water in your joints.
Yes.
It fills your muscles up with water. It
Correct.
feels good. DECA is great for your joints. Winstrol is the complete opposite. It dries your joints out. It leads to ligament tears, muscle pulls. I'll give you an example here. You know exactly who I'm talking about. I'm going to use first names only. But there was a notoriously famous baseball player that I was very good friends with, and I used to train. His first name was Roger. And I don't know what it would be. He always would ask me, I want Winstrol. And I used to come from up Jersey, come down to here at the time before I lived here, sit down with Roger, and Roger, I want Winstrol for the off season. I want, or the beginning of for spring training. And every single time he used Winstrol, he would end up with a pulled hamstring.
He'd be on a DL.
Yeah, he pulled his hamstring every single time. And every single time I would try to explain to him why the Winstrol is no good. So there's more muscle pulls, more muscle tears, more muscle strains, more ligament and joint issues with Winstrol than anything else. So I tell people it dries your joints out. It makes you creaky, okay? That's why it's no good. You don't want any part of Winstrol. It's no good for you. Yes, will it cut you up with? But nowadays, there's so many other products that are on the market that you can use rather than using that. Yep. And think about something. Winstrol is also, it comes in pill form, but it's also water-based. Look what it looks like. It's that white, milky looking stuff. Yes. Okay. That's not oil you're putting in your body. Oil lubricates. That stuff dries out. Think about all the peptides. They're not milky white.
No, so they're not.
The only drug out on the market that's milky white is the Winstrol. I tell people Winstrol will dry your joints out, will do more damage to your muscles, will do more damage to your body over the long run than anything else. Now, oral Winstrol, we won't even get into that. The havoc it will cause on your liver. Okay,
yes, 100%.
So that's number 2. Number 3, Anadrol.
Anadrol.
2 reasons and 2 reasons only. Number 1, it wreaks havoc on your liver. It's very. Anadrol is unbelievably toxic to the liver.
Correct.
Number 2, why Anadrol is so bad. Think about anybody that you've known. We know people, trust me, we know the same people that used Anadrol, that would be on the Anadrol and would fill out a t-shirt and look jacked. I mean, huge in a t-shirt, okay? Or in a long sleeve shirt or in a jacket, but they took the shirt off and they were just one big glob of water. Were they more swollen? Yes. Was it real muscle? No. Anadrol, majority of your gains, yes, you get stronger, but majority of your gains is water retention. The moment you get off that, all that water retention goes
thin.
Yes. And all of a sudden, those are the ones I used to say all the time was, the shrinky dinks. Because they'd be on and they'd be huge and then they get off and you will go, oh, they're off everything now. Well, they weren't off everything. They were off the Anadrol. And the Anadrol does that. And I always tell people, why would you want to be big for 8 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever it is, okay? Why would you want to be big and then all of a sudden shrink back down to what your normal size was before that? I don't get that. Why wouldn't you want a slower progression? Yeah, you're going to get a lot. Anadrol was the summer steroid for a lot of the Jersey Shore, goers all the time. They would get on a cycle of Anadrol during the summer, get all jacked so they could look jacked at the clubs for, the summertime. And then all of a sudden, at the end of the summer, they would shrink back down again. They even did that show. I call him the cheese ball guy on MTV that time. He was complaining somebody stole his cheese balls. I forget what show. Tommy, remember Tommy, the construction worker? They did. I have a Jersey Shore share house.
Oh yes.
Remember the bald guy, Tommy?
Yes.
And he was all like this for the summer, and then you saw him in the winter, and it was like,
oh, like what the hell?
What happened? What happened? So that was another perfect example. Anadrol, I just don't understand because, like I would say to people, well, why? Wouldn't you want sustained strength for life? Why would you want to just be strong for 2 or 3 months? Why would you just want to be big for 2 or 3 months? Why wouldn't you want to do a slower progression? Why wouldn't you want real gains?
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things with the growth hormone, releasing peptide or real growth hormone, it is real gains. You keep those gains compared
100%.
to something like an anadrol. So anadrol I don't like because of liver toxicity, and also it's a waste to me. I don't get it. I mean, I've never ever in my life used anadrol. Ever. That's the one. I've never ever used anadrol in my life. I've toyed around with Winstrol, believe it or not, before for competition. But back in the day, I've toyed around. Never liked it. Never liked how it made me feel. It made me personally feel too tight. Like, when I mean by too tight, to me personally, it made me feel like if I bent over to pick up something I dropped, oh man, I just felt a twinge in my glute or my hamstring. I better be careful I don't pull it.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by too tight. Like, everything just felt too tight in my body. So that's why I wasn't a fan personally of that. And like I said, the trend, there's multiple reasons why. Yeah. And as you get older, I tell everybody, I don't care what, you shouldn't use old trend as you get older. No way.
Exactly. No way. Even the injections on Winstrol were very burned a little bit.
Yes.
The injections. So it was a pain in the ass with that white liquid substance, whatever it was.
Yes. That's why I tell everybody, anadrol, Winstrol, trend, those are the three stay away from. Favorites, obviously testosterone, that's the base for anybody. It has to be. Listen, I understand right now it's through the roof and there's a shortage of it, but Primobolan. I'm always been a huge fan of Primobolan. Some people like Masteron, some people like Primobolan. They're similar in a lot of ways. I prefer Primo over Masteron. That's just me. And it's a very safe steroid. Women use it, very, very safe. Another one that I love is Anavar in low dosages. Low dosages of Anavar are phenomenal, and they're safe for men and women. Okay. So Anavar, Primobolan, testosterone, all safe ones, all ones that you're not going to have a real issue with, that you could look great aesthetically. Now, is your bench press going to jump up 100 pounds on these products? No, but I can care less about that stuff. That's not what I'm going. You know what I'm trying to say? I mean, and again, anybody that knows me can attest to this. I haven't flat barbell bench pressed 12, 13, 14 years.
Me either. Me either.
See? It's more, you do more damage to your body. It's more conducive to hurting your shoulders and everything than it is for a bench. I don't flat barbell bench at all. I don't include that in any of my clients' programs. I don't tell anybody to flat barbell bench. Flat dumbbell press, incline dumbbell press, stay away from the flat bar. That's an ego.
I know two people our age who did the flat bench press, and they tore their pec.
See,
they tore their pec. I told them, I said, "You stay away from it." So it's not good.
It's no good. It's an ego thing.
Yes.
Think about something. Even at when you're younger, what do people say to you? What
do you bench? What do you bench?
Or seeing people say, what do you bench? Nobody ever comes up and goes, what do you squat? It's always, what do you bench over row? No, it's what do you bench? And that's the standard of, like, people think that's the strength standard. It means nothing.
No.
It means, you know how many fat dudes I've seen with an incredible bench? Look at Tank Abbott, who I was a strong dude, but he was by no means a physical specimen. He used to bench 600 pounds with no problem. But look at his gut. I mean, there's a lot of fat dudes that could bench a lot. There's a lot of weekend softball players with 500-pound bench presses. But look at their visceral fat on their body. Look at their, so I don't care less. Anybody that, and I do hear people, still, what do you bench? I have no idea. You want to know what I squat, though? I can care less what I bench.
All right, guys. Well, we're at hour over already, and it's another great week. Peptide Talk with me, Garrett Pope, the Peptide King. Next week, we'll decide what we're going to talk about, but stay tuned, like, subscribe. We will see you guys next week. Peace out, guys.
Next week.
You got it, man.
started from nothing. Jersey streets, we owned it. Jay-Z pumping iron. Bodybuilder coding. Beans on the